At 22 years old, Lando Norris is one of the brightest talents in Formula One. Making his debut at McLaren while still a teenager, it was in just his second race that he scored his first points, quickly justifying why there was so much excitement around the English driver. In each of his 3 seasons, he has continued to show consistent progression, finishing a career-high 6th in the latest World Championship standings, giving further belief that he is a future potential champion. But aside from his obvious driving talents, what else do we know about Lando Norris? The McLaren driver is half British, half Belgian. He's the son of Adam Norris, a British entrepreneur, and Siska Wouwman, a Belgian woman. Norris once tried to mark his Belgian heritage with a specially made helmet ahead of the Belgian Grand Prix, but the decision backfired. The design incorporated the flag of the Flemish region, a black lion on a yellow background. Norris said he was unaware of any potential political concerns over the design, which has been adopted by the far-right party in Belgium. He intended to use the design as a tribute to his maternal grandparents, a picture of which also appeared on the helmet. I wasn't aware of the connotations around the use of this particular motif when I designed the helmet, but as soon as it was clear that it was inappropriate to continue using it. Despite that confusion, Norris says he considers Belgium's round of the World Championship as a second home race due to his links to the country. I see it completely as a home race. The only reason I would say Silverstone or the GB race is more of a home race is just because that's where I grew up. He's an F3 champion and his dad's loaded. Sounds familiar? Yeah, the same was also true of Lance Stroll. However, Lawrence Stroll is both older, 68, and wealthier, estimated net worth of 1.8 billion, than Lando Norris's father Adam, 46, £200 million. That's because at number 18 on the Bristol Rich List 2016 is Adam Norris with a personal fortune of £205 million. He became Managing Director of Pensions Direct when he was just 33. He retired when he was 36, having built up one of the most successful pensions advice organisations. So Norris, like Stroll, has wanted for little in his ascent through the junior categories. It costs around €300,000 in a single season in karting. You can spend far more if you want plenty of sets of new tyres or new parts, and that figure only rises as you progress onto the single-seater ladder. He's the youngest ever karting world champion. By 2010, Norris had won Britain's cadet karting category for junior races. His 2013 season was a stellar campaign, yielding silverware in the CIK FIA KF Junior Championship, plus the Super Cup and Euro Series. He missed out on the World Junior title but made amends the following year. In the top KF category, Norris became the youngest driver ever to win the world title at the age of 14. Lando Norris wants to discover the next Lando Norris. Lando spent 7 seasons racing in karts. He was pretty good at it too, winning the European Championship in 2013, followed by the world title in 2014, and many of the faces who helped guide him through his karting education, such as Ricky Flynn, are still heavily involved in his life. On his go-karting education and returning to the South Guardia karting track in Italy, where he raced many times before, Lando said, "This track is where I grew up, where I came to do one of my first European races. It's brought back a lot of memories. I was racing a different kart then, one of Fernando Alonso's, and for a young boy, that was pretty cool. Now I'm in the position where some of the kids who are driving around could soon get to drive my kart. It's a cool feeling to have, that you're making someone smile and you're having something you know will hopefully help younger kids grow up and experience racing." The setup for Lando Norris Racing Kart is bringing Norris back full circle, as he's putting his faith in the same people who backed and mentored him in karting. OTK Kart Group will manufacture the kart, while Ricky Flynn Motorsport, who helped Norris achieve good things and helped me learn so much about racing, will run the operation. Is this project a way of Norris giving back to the people who supported him and played a role in fulfilling his dream of becoming a Formula One driver? Absolutely, he says. "In any way I can give back, in any way I can help people, I'm happy to. I like doing that, especially with people who helped me. It's nice to be able to give something back." His first racing interest was actually in MotoGP. Norris said he wasn't into car racing when, age 7, he had his first trip to the kart track at Clay Pigeon in Dorset. "I was more into MotoGP, to be honest. However, he quickly showed an aptitude for karting and progressed through the junior ranks with his brother Oliver, who's 3 years older than him. His debut season in Formula One in 2019 revitalised McLaren. Norris made his debut at McLaren with relatively few expectations after the team had suffered years of troubled form. However, his partnership there with Sainz seemed to re-energise the team, and they finished 4th in the Constructors' title, with more than double the points haul of 2018. Sainz outscored Norris by nearly double, taking 96 of the team's 145 points, but Norris won the qualifying battle, starting races in front of his teammate 11 times over the season. Norris's best result in the year came at the second race in Bahrain, with a 6th place finish. Valentino Rossi is his hero. Lando says 9-time motorcycle world champion Valentino Rossi helped inspire him to be who I am today. Norris has made no secret about his adoration for the legendary MotoGP rider Rossi, even going as far as designing a special tribute helmet and boots for the Italian Grand Prix at Monza. I started watching Valentino before I started watching Formula One, when I was like 4 years old. He was the first guy I watched in any sort of racing, whether it was cars, rallying, bikes, or whatever. He was the guy who, when I was such a young kid, I looked up to, and I dreamed of being like him in many ways. There are still things and characteristics that maybe I have which are similar to him, like my helmet design and the colours, and just things I like to do. He was the guy that inspired me to be who I am today. I loved racing. As soon as I saw it once, I loved it. I watched MotoGP first of all. I then just got into a bit of an all-round racing, whether it was Formula One, rallying, GT cars, whatever. I just loved motorsports. Lando Norris has set up his own esports team. Lando has launched his own esports, known as Quadrant. He has made a big impact in recent years in the gaming space, having grown his Twitch following to some 679,000 Twitch followers. Lando has made a name for himself racing for McLaren and also taking part in esports and sim racing activities, including the F1 Virtual Grand Prix series. He made the Quadrant reveal live on stream, following by some fun community games. We're here today launching Quadrant, and Quadrant is my dream. It's something I've been working on for quite some time, and I'm super excited to launch it. It's effectively an esports team, but so much more at the same time. We're going to be doing 4 things, hence the name Quadrant: gaming, content, apparel, and racing. I'm very proud of what we've done and what we've created. There'll be a lot of fun and a lot of laughs. He is a mental health ambassador. Under the watchful eye of the media and the popularity of the sport that attracted 433 million viewers in 2020, Norris admits he has battled with depression and anxiety. I guess people from when they just watch TV don't realise how many things a driver goes through, he said. It's a bit of a shame, but there are more programs now where you get to see what the driver is like behind the scenes and the amount of pressure and stress that they have to cope with. Especially at my age, coming into Formula One at 19, there's a lot of eyes on you. So dealing with all these kinds of things took its toll on me. Norris said that a combination of support from his McLaren team plus working with mental health charity Mind has helped him get into a much better place now. We partner with Mind, which have helped me massively and also helped many other people at McLaren, but also in the world in general, he said. So speaking to McLaren, speaking to the people that are around me and my friends that I trust and also Mind, I'm in a much better place now. I'm much happier, and I can enjoy everything that I do. He plays golf in his spare time. Norris may well have picked up the sport from his former McLaren teammate Carlos Sainz, who is an avid golfer and was shown on a round with his father during the latest season of Netflix Drive to Survive series. He will certainly have got much more of a taste for it after being given the incredible opportunity to play with a Ryder Cup legend. After the US Grand Prix, Norris and McLaren chief executive Zak Brown were joined on a course in Texas by Ian Poulter. They shared snaps of the round on Instagram, which showed the golf legend giving the McLaren pair some tips in front of a stunning backdrop of the course. His PR manager and friend Charlotte Sefton doesn't seem to be a fan of the sport though, and has mocked the racer for his participation. "You went from a gamer to a retired old man in 3 months," she joked in response to one of the racer's posts about golf. But Norris was quick to leap to the game's defence. "Golf is not for old people. That's just what everyone thinks," was his retort.